All right, folks, what is going on? This is episode 714 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am BF Baller. Over here, we talk about Georgia Southern and Atlanta Falcons football. We're going to end the week on Atlanta Falcons football. We're going to talk about the Falcons and them going up against the Jets. They're going up to East Rutherford, New Jersey, to play the New York Jets. And I would love to see the Falcons win this game. This is a game that they should win. I mean, I know we've been talking about all the other things that they've been going through. They was on a 3-game losing streak, losing games that they probably should have won. But after playing the Saints and the way they played the Saints, I feel like this team should be able to go up there and get another close win. I don't think anything flashy is going to happen with this game. But I think they should be able to grind it out and win this game. So I'm going to talk mostly about the Jets and their statistics throughout this. I'm not going to speak too much about the Falcons because if you've been looking at the Falcons or if you've been following this show or other shows, you would know what you have with the Falcons. But we're going to talk more about the Jets and that will give us an idea of what the Falcons need to do. So if this is your first time here, welcome. I could be found on YouTube and Rumble. I'm also on Anchor, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. I really appreciate you guys for a phenomenal 2023. And we're going to be keeping it moving for 2024. And it's all thanks to you guys. Thank everyone for the follows on X or Twitter at VF Baller. And I also can be found on my website, firstandframerates.com. That website also is the avenue to get to the podcast and avenues where you could donate to the show via CashApp or PayPal. Also, those links are down below in the description of the show. Let's just go ahead and get into this. Right about now, the big thing that jumps out at me, I'm going to tell you right now, the biggest thing that jumps out, I think it's the interceptions. I think they're fifth in the league in interceptions with 12. Now, you know where I'm going at with this already. We have a quarterback that does throw interceptions. Let's be honest. Desmond Ridder is no stranger to throwing to the other team, and it's really an issue. And that's something that we need to address ASAP. That's one thing I do not want to see Desmond Ridder. Can he have a game where he doesn't throw an interception? I think he's good for maybe one against this team, but I mean, it's just the fact of how this team is built and the quarterback that we have. Now, that, like I said, that's the biggest thing that bothers me. The least thing that bothers me is the rushing yards per game. We should be able to run the ball on this team very, very well. I mean, offensively, they're 27th in running the ball, but they're 31st against the rush. They give up almost 140 yards per game. So as far as the interceptions go, we should be able to just fall back and just run the ball down this team throat. I mean, it's pretty bad. I mean, they're among the least, they're among the bottom of rushing yards. Offensively, the Jets aren't that good. They only average 30. They're 30th in averaging 14 points per game. And they're 18th with against. They give up 21 points a game. So with the Falcons normally scoring anywhere between 17 and 20 points, 17 to 24 points, that's right there in the alley where we should be able to actually get there, and their offense shouldn't be able to do anything. Total yards per game, they're 291 at 31st. Passing yards per game is 197.6. That is 29th. Time of possession is 21:37, which is 31st. Now, this is a recipe where the Falcons should be able to run for almost 300 yards. Yeah, I'm dead serious. When you look at this, the Falcons should be able to run the ball extremely effective against this team, and it should work. The one thing that they cannot stop the run. They have a problem with. Now, passing, they're 15th against the pass. Now, you got a couple of good guys back here that are pretty good defensive backs for the Jets, so that's why they lead the league in interceptions. And I ain't gonna say I take that back. They're 5th in the league in interceptions. Sorry about that. As far as sacks go, they're 18th with 28 total. And like I said, we should be able to run the ball fairly easily against this team. I think you want to control the tempo, run this ball, get Caleb McGarry, get Chris Lindstrom, get Matt Bergeron, get Dahlman, get Matthews, get those guys in order to just go ahead and smack these dudes around. Smack them around like we did the Saints. Let's run for like 230, 240, I'll say even up to 300 yards. And we should be able to be fine. We should be able to run this. We should be able to be a victor in this game. Now, you look at the quarterback situation. I think Tim Boyle is going to be the starter. They're talking about Aaron Rodgers going to be here. He's going to be playing. I don't see that just yet. I mean, that's wild if you would see that. But Tim Boyle is probably going to be the starter. His numbers are not that flashy. We should not make this guy look like Joe Montana. I mean, we've made some other quarterbacks look really good in the past earlier this season. But that wasn't the case against Derek Carr. Derek Carr, we made him look exactly like who he was. And we should make Tim Boyle look the same way as well. If Aaron Rodgers play, once again, I doubt it. But if he does, it just goes back to what I'm saying. Just go ahead and start running this ball. They cannot stop the run. Keep him on the sideline and just, basically keep the defense rested for whatever may come their way. I doubt it that he plays, but what I'm saying, you just have to be prepared for anything. You just never know. Tim Boyle, I don't see anything out here that actually strikes me as any fear. 34-52, 212 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions over the season. He's been sacked 8 times. He had a couple of fumbles. And I don't see anything here to be like, okay, this is what we're doing. As far as they're actually going to be a factor against us. I think that we should be fine against this game. We should be able to win this game pretty much single-handedly. I don't know if you guys know. If you've been following the Falcons, you probably know. But I'm extremely impressed. Bijan Robinson is going to hit 1,000 yards this season. He's going to hit 1,000 yards. And, I mean, he's already at 703 yards right now. You got 6 games left. He should hit 1,000 yards. It'd be absolutely amazing that he does. It'd be really cool, knowing the fact that he hasn't been really, carrying the ball that much. He only carried the ball 141 times, which, nowadays that seems like a lot, but it's not, it's not a lot when you're splitting carries with the Tyler Algier. But I find this very, very, I find this very enlightening. It is really cool. Right now they got him projected to be at 1,086 as far as rushing yards. That's his projected. They say he's also going to be running for 5 touchdowns. I think he's going to have more than 5. In 6 games here, in 6 games, he should have about, I say in 6 more games, get 2 more touchdowns. Nah, I think he's good for about 4 more touchdowns. But that's just me. I'm just guessing. But I really like what I see here. I like what I see here. This is really cool to see that he's doing very well in the running game, because a lot of people thought that he was going to be this running back to kind of be more of a hybrid, but it looks like he's doing more in the running game than the passing game. I mean, with receiving, he's at 240 yards receiving. He has 32 receptions. Also has 3 touchdowns. That's not too bad either. So as of right now, he's almost at 1,000 all-purpose yards. But from what I see, it looks like he's going to be over 1,000 yards receiving. Rushing. But that just goes back to us, running the ball against the Jets. I could see a day, honestly, that we can get almost 300 yards. You may have a big day out of Bijan, where Bijan could have over 125, yards, and like seriously, he could have over 125 yards receiving, probably another 50 yards receiving. It's possible. Last time he had over 120 yards was the Green Bay game back in week 2. And he only had another 100-yard game when we played against the Jacksonville. Wow, he had a 100-yard game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Interesting. And he almost hit the did I say 1,000 or 100? I'm sorry. I'm speaking really fast. But he hit the wall, getting close to 100 yards the last 2 games, 95 against Arizona and 91 against the Saints. So he's long overdue. I think they give him another 15 to 20 carries. He against the Jets and where their run defense is, he could easily get back to that 124, maybe 150, depends on how the game is flowing. If he's a hot hand, give it to him. once you get late in the fourth quarter, you already know who to get a ball to. It's just Tyler Algier. So I'm thinking this is going to be the bread and butter of this game. I don't expect Desmond Ridder to do too much in the passing game when they know how depleted this run game is for the Jets. I just see them trying to run the ball until they can't run it anymore, especially in the second half. In the second half, they're probably going to start giving these guys the ball, and the Jets are probably going to be so tired to do anything. We could run for another 220 plus, but I'm guessing maybe 300. It could be that bad. It really can. But nevertheless, before I close, I will say this. I think the defense is going to shut down Tim Boyle. I don't think the defense is going to, really let the Jets do much of anything. I would be extremely surprised if that happens. And Desmond Ridder may have a solid game. I mean, this game looks like a type of game that'll be like Desmond Ridder's stat line would be like 15 of 20, 121 yards or something like that while we're running the ball extremely well. You know what I'm saying? It just seems like one of those games. Now, I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of that stat line, but hey, this is how they roll. Oh, excuse me. This is just how they roll. This is how the Falcons been rolling ever since they had what's his name, Marcus Mariota. That's just how it is. You look at the game logs, and like I said, I'm gonna get out of here for real now because I'm getting a little bit longer than I normally am. Like you played against New Orleans, 13-21, 168. Prior to him getting, with the last game when he played against Tampa Bay, it was 19-25, 250. So it could be one of those type of games where he may just very well just pass for like 20 times. Like the game against Carolina, 15-18, 115. Perfect. Perfect. Now, I would like to see more of him getting 250 plus, but hey, I mean, this team's not built that way. So it is what it is. Falcons should win. Hopefully that'll be the case. We'll see how that goes. And we'll just go from there. So if you like this commentary, hit the like button, share this podcast, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let me know what you guys think. Is this a situation where the Falcons actually get to 500 and they beat the Jets and they keep a good lead in the division? Or do you think they slip and they fall back and we'll be discussing, coaching changes again? No, personally, I think that the Falcons are going to win this game. I think they're going to win this game with the ground game and they should be fine. I don't see how any other way how it would be. It would be really disappointing if they don't accomplish that, but we'll see. So I'm going to get out of here. I can be found on YouTube and Rumble, also on Anchor, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts. The website is firstandframeraise.com. Follow me on X at VFBaller. And the PayPal and Cash App links are below if you want to, support the show. All right, y'all, I'm going to get out of here. You guys enjoy your weekend. I will be back to watch the Falcons and Jets. I think it's going to be a pretty good one. All right, y'all. Y'all take it easy and y'all be blessed. Peace.